has lost longtime allies due to choosing Israel over them. Several countries have broke ties with the U.S. because of America's support for Israel. Some of these include long-term allies such as France and the United Kingdom, as they are now going against Israel, but the U.S. refuses to. The European Union is now building a sanction package against Israel, and President Trump says that if the EU sanctions Israel, the U.S. will blow up the trade deal and tariff the EU again. Also, as any country recognizes Palestine, Trump will implement a tariff on them. This also involves Canada. The U.S. and Canada were nearing a trade deal, but this is when Canada decided to recognize Palestine. And President Trump put out a tweet and said that if Canada recognizes Palestine, that the trade deal would be called off. And Canada put their foot down and will recognize Palestine alongside France, the United Kingdom, Norway, and Spain. The U.S. is cutting itself off from the rest of the world, all for some weird fascination with refusing to condemn Israel with anything. Why do you think the U.S. is so tied with Israel? Comment below.
Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone, all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth, with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and Aqua out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say shalom, and may you be of the elect. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites. Bah Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. All right, in this lesson, you saw the clip, all right, and this is going to be a very, 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 very short clip, or a video lesson, all right, just getting straight to it, all right. He said that the nations, all right, are pissed off at America for siding with Israel. Well, why would America side with Israel? Let's go back a few years ago. Trump converted to Judaism, along with his daughter, I believe. Basically his family. Okay? And you got the Israelis a few years ago, if memory serves, they made a coin, right? They put his face on the front of a shekel, and on the back of the shekel, it was them building at what they think is the third temple. They think that Trump is the so-called Messiah. Okay? So let's see what's been happening in the past couple years. Okay, Israel, along with Hamas, okay, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And originally, allegedly, it was about the IDF going after Hamas, right? Well, after so long, because let's face it, the Palestinians don't have the same friends in high places as Israel would at the time, right? Because Israel got their fucking foothold on everything. They like vampires, man. They fucking like cancer, right? As soon as they step foot on something, it's now cancerous. Right? They got their claws into it. And they pretty much are at the head of everything. Right? Go look at who's at the head of everything in America. Right? The head of the FBI, the head of the DEA, the head of, whatever. Okay? It's going to be somebody who's so-called Jewish. Right? They have a foothold on everything. These are the people that run the world. All right. Now, putting that in mind, you got the IDF going at it with so-called Hamas. Right? Hamas going back to the word violence in Hebrew. And with that being said, you seen how IDF been rolling this whole time. Right? They've been bombing the shit out of Gaza to the point where it's like the whole world said, oh, okay, at first we understood, you want to go against, these so-called big T word, terrorists, right? But then it got to the point where it's like, all right, you going overboard. You're doing overkill. Okay, that's enough. Can somebody stop this? Where's the ref? Let me speak to your manager. Right? And just relentlessly destroying them. So yeah, the whole world says, fuck Israel. Everybody's against Israel. Now you got America siding with Israel. All right? And now, so the whole world, all these other nations are like, oh, you know how we don't fucking like Israel, what they've been doing. We finding out about these fucking rats. And here it is, America, you gonna side with them? Well, fuck you too. Okay? Guess what, everyone? This is prophecy. This is prophecy coming to pass. Okay? This ain't something that just so happened to be. No, this was already written thousands of years ago. And the men of the Lord, namely them of Great Millstone, GMS, have been telling you for decades now what's going to happen. Oh, the Bible's a white man's book. Well, if that was the case, then why Revelation 13:10 said, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity"? Why would he condemn himself? Cut. Okay? Oh, the Bible was written a long time ago. None of those things are for today. Oh, really? Because I'm about to read to you exactly what that cat was just talking about as far as all the nations against America. Because contrary to popular belief, America is going to be utterly destroyed along with Israel. And why not Israel? They're not the people of the land. And look what they did to Tel Aviv. Turned into a boys' town. One of the holiest of places in the world. But they the Lord's people. Yet they walk contrary to the Lord in every way possible. So why wouldn't he be destroying that place? And why in the fuck would he not destroy America? This is the land of confusion. What do you think Babylon means? Babel, confusion, man. America is that place. This is the mixing pot of all the worlds. Okay? This is the miscellaneous drawer. Everybody can speak whatever language they want. There's no set language here. Everybody can be whatever religion they want. There's no set religion here. Even though they say, right, this is a Christian country. Even though they say this is an English-speaking country, there's no set language. There's no set religion. It just so happened to be the majority of people deal with Catholicism or Christianity. Muslims. Okay? So yeah, and the majority of the Israelites were brought here to America and were destroyed. Starting with the Northern Kingdom, right, which is basically the Native and Seminole Indians and the Hispanics, all right, and then followed up with Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes, the West Indies, the Haitians. Okay, the majority of the Israelites were brought here. So yeah, and so when the Lord comes back, this is going to be the place where it all takes place, the major salvation, just as it were in the ancient Egypt, just as it's going to be in New Egypt. Why you calling America Egypt, the Waga? Because America is also known as New Egypt. Egypt, Mitzrayim, means straits. Okay, the Israelites were brought here. Matter of fact, let me get it real quick. I ain't gotta say too much and let the scripture speak. Damn, look at that. The Lord is dealing, man. I was about to go to this. Deuteronomy 28. Man, call Halayim La Yahweh Shemel Shai. Look, you see that? I was in the book of Lamentations before this. Wow. Lord called. Deuteronomy 28:68. It says, and the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, shall bring thee into Egypt again. Egypt again? Yeah, because Egypt means straits. He will bring us into straits again with ships. And how we know that? Let me get this. This is Exodus 20. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth." Yeah, but you niggers and Hispanics and you Native Americans, Seminole Indians, y'all the minority. No, bitch. We are the majority. Thus saith the Lord. You heard it right there. Right? Set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And I'll get that real quick in a second. But this is the point right here. It says, "I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage." So Egypt means bondage. It means straits. Okay? Going back to the Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Now that we have that understanding. "And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring thee into Egypt bondage," right? "Again with ships." Everybody know who came over on slave ships. "By the way whereof I spake unto thee," because he said, "Hey, y'all keep fucking up. This is what I'm gonna do to y'all. I'm gonna have y'all dispersed in all these different lands." Okay? It says, "Thou shalt see it no more again." We not back in our homeland. Hey, Irish man, where you from? From Ireland. Hey, you British man, where you from? From Britain. You Scottish man, where you from? I'm from Scotland. Hey, you black man, where you from? I don't know. Hey, so-called Mexican, where you from? From Mexico. What about before that? I don't know. I don't know, Holmes. Right? We the only people that don't know where you're from. Because the Irish man was always Irish. The Scottish man was always Scottish. But when it came to us, they would switch it up. Israelites, niggers, Negroes, African American, Afro American, Black American. Why you keep switching up? Why you just don't keep it straight? You see? So anyway, Deuteronomy 28:68, "And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, bondage again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, not friends, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." We've been here ever since. As soon as we got off them ships, and matter of fact, the very first slave ship was named, ta-da, Jesus. Okay? As soon as we got off them ships, we were put on auction blocks and sold to the man in blue, the top hat. Who was selling us off? The Jewishes and all these other nations. All right? And we've been here ever since as bondmen and bondwomen. Everybody know who been tilling these fucking lands. Everybody know who the slaves were. Everybody knows about the transatlantic slave trade. This is common knowledge. Okay? But a lot of people don't know about these here scriptures right here. Now everybody knows who the Israelites are. No question about it. Some don't want to believe, too fucking bad. Some just can't believe, still too fucking bad. And then there's those that do believe. Good. Now do something about it. Be a true Israelite. Don't just know that you're an Israelite. Do something about it. Be an Israelite. A true Israelite. Because not all Israel is of Israel. If you truly dealing with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're not going to be afraid to call on them names. You're going to confess those names. You're going to go do the work. It's a whole nother thing when you a so-called Ice Cube, a fucking Amari Stoudemire, Tiffany Haddish, and whoever else, others, Kodak Black, any other of these celebrities that know that they're Hebrew Israelites, but don't use their platform to speak on it because they could. They're in enough position where they can be a powerful influence, but they're not going to do it because a gift destroyed the heart. They take the bag. They don't mind being called black, nigger, Negro, Hispanic, celebrity. All right, they like the fame and the fortune right now. They don't want to sacrifice all that to come back and be with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They don't want the true riches, which is coming to those that serve Yahweh Shemel Shai. They want the temporary. They want the fucking monopoly money in comparison to what the men of the Lord and the rest of the 1/3, right, that's slated for salvation are going to get. They don't want that. They want the fame and the fortune now. Well, nigga, if you ain't got your works, which you gonna be nothing regarded. If you not serving Yahweh Shemel Shai, you ain't gonna be shit in the kingdom. You're gonna be walking around with your fucking head hanging low because you wanted to be a part of your handlers, the Edomites and all these other heathen nations that got you on a fucking chokehold and be the fucking porch monkey, as it were. The house nigga. That's what y'all are. Y'all rather hold on to that. That's fine. That's cool. You do that. All right? But now we know what that's speaking about. All right? Dang. Salakia. All right? Now, getting into the lesson itself, Salakia. This is called Prophecy of Nations, setting their face against Babylon and Amalek. Right? Setting their face against America and Israel. Okay? As you heard the guy in the video say. And this is Revelation chapter 17. I'm going to read 16 through 18. And the 10 horns, which thou sawest upon the beast, that's representing the EU nations, the European Union. All right? All those nations that band together. That's those 10 horns. Is more now. But this is speaking about the original 10. All right? These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Meaning what? They're going to use ICB missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, to destroy both places. All right? And this is particularly speaking about America. Okay? There are all these nations going to band together, right? It says hate the whore, that's hating America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, right? All these nations, they all together, they all in one happy setting until these last moments of this kingdom. Now they starting to what? Disband. They starting to make side hustles, leaving America out, and now more so America and Israel because of what's been happening. Yahweh Shem Yahushai been exposing these devils for who the fuck they are. Claim you the Lord's people, but here y'all are decimating a nation of people. Right? Basically trying to wipe them out. Okay? It says, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which is America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Who has a foothold on everybody? America. All the nations want to be just like America. All these nations want to come to America and be a part of America. I want to be an American. Right? You come all the way, you Elam, you come all the way from India, come to America. Now you're Indian American. You come from Germany to America, you're a German American. You're French American. You're Cuban American. You're Haitian American. You're Afro American, Black American, African American. See that? Just like the Romans joining to their ranks. Right? And that's also a cut to when people say, oh, see, they were talking about to the Gentiles and the Israelites. No, they were talking to Israelites in Gentile state of mind and Gentile nations. Rather, Samaritans or Romans, right? Roman citizens. We're American citizens. We're Israelites, but we live in America. So we're, guess what? American citizens. Dipshit. That doesn't change the fact that we're the Israelites. All right? But anyway, that's what's happening. You saw the video. All right? Stay tuned. Shit's about to get turned the fuck up, man. All right? It's about to go down. I cannot wait. Call Layam La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise and glories and honors to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle and elder bishops of Great Millstone, all the teachers out there pushing the word and truth with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Stay prayed up. Repent. Ababa ball. Ababa ball. Ababa ball. Kwame Asherallah. Shalom.